Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting week of Your View. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Hi ladies.
Hey.
Who are in the building? With her afro. I wanted to greet you first. This is your...
Oh
I suddenly unleashed the
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh.
You need here to pat it down very well.
I bet leave it. The hair is getting
nice.
better.
Yes, that's
How is
nice.
I
everything?
want to see the volume.
How was your
Natural
week?
hair is very bad with that thing.
How's your weekend?
Fantastic. I had an amazing weekend. Where do I
Selling
start
pepper.
from? Selling pepper. Oh. Everybody say, celebrity, you are selling pepper. I say, of course, I will not say pepper. Pepper is a survival,
Yes,
what's
sir.
it called? I don't know why people look at certain people and think, oh, you're not supposed to do this kind of business. I mean, for me, I think this is an opportunity to make money from multiple streams of income, and whatever your hand finds, to do,
Do it
and
well.
do it and do it with so much, pride, and because the truth is, it is much better than you going about begging or stealing.
Thank
So
you.
whatever it is, some people now they have the mind to do something, but they are putting at the back of their mind that this thing is not too menial for me to do. I don't think so. Whatever your hand finds doing. And guess what? My son went to the farm, harvested pepper. He sold the pepper. If you see the way he was monitoring the people, can I have my money, please? Thank you very much.
That's
I think somebody was not saying, you're teaching your children how to be. I said, of course. They have to learn how, money would only come in exchange of value. So they're giving out value. Of course, they should expect money in return.
Fantastic, good.
Yeah,
Let me
so I
jump
had a
to...
fantastic weekend.
Jump to Jumoke. How you doing?
I'm
With your
good.
black and white shoes. I don't know what you're thinking. Cameraman, did you see that?
We can actually be white or black.
Put it down so we can see.
Okay, there's
And point
confusion.
it down.
Something happened. So
We
tell
can't
us
see
what
it too.
happened.
No, I
You
have
just
both.
decided
I
to-
have both pairs of shoes in the studio.
And she couldn't decide which
I couldn't
one.
decide to wear white or black, and I said, "Why not? Let's just do both of them.
Well,
Right.
We can be multiracial.
Point it down so that we can see. Hey, now we
We
can
can be
see.
multiracial without having conflict.
Okay.
We
all
can
right.
be both white and black without issues.
Okay, all right. Nobody's going to question that. Let me jump to talk about how was your weekend?
Weekend was good. I did the interview. I didn't disturb you. I did the interview for the next set of people that would come for the training for the month of July, and I was really impressed with a lady. I even told her, I said, don't bother, just come. She was like, I can't get anything together. I don't have product. I said, just come. She's 27. She has a 10-year-old daughter. And I looked at her that if at 17, when a lot of people get pregnant, they'll decide to do abortion. You probably, maybe pressure, whatever the reason was, you decide to keep that child. Anything that I can use to support you, I will. So she said, even transportation to come for the interview, she couldn't put together, that she had to beg. I said, come. And if this is what I can give to you, I would love to support you. And there are people like that they really just want something to do. So if you have anybody you can support or help, do it.
Talking about
Fantastic.
support, Dr. Dami, who has a fitness kitchen, has decided to send us all
Support us.
And I was actually
breakfast.
looking forward to...
Yes, so she's sending us breakfast, healthy meals this morning in support of our
Wellness journey.
Yes,
Dr.
our
Dami, thank you.
Thank you so much.
For me, I'm going to be in meetings, though, so they will cheat me. They're likely to cheat me. So please, just in case I don't get a piece,
should label your own Mariah.
Send my own, because they will cheat me. All right, let's take a quick break.
What was your whole weekend?
My weekend was really nice.
you want to tell us?
I can't even remember what I did, but I have
can
a
you
lot of
not
high
remember?
points. Please remind me. Do you remember what I
came
did?
for
I came for the NLP
yeah.
free
Teaser
event,
class.
Teaser class. And I mean, a lot of people were there. I mean, it was a great turnout on Sunday. I don't remember what I did. I really can't. Let's take a quick break. When I remember, I'll let you know. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Right. Let's start with the punch. $1.5 million Dubai mansions. Buratai should resign or be sacked, says Falano, Junaid, and others. How an army's general managed to save $1.5 million has not been disclosed to Nigerians.
It's true.
Picture here, Portugal beats France 1-0, win Euro 2016. Point system not criteria for admission, says JAM. Omisore disowns PDP emissaries to Oni. Strike. Few depots may run dry by Wednesday. Osinbajo false calls for Nigeria's restructuring. 6 suspects grilled over Abuja pastor's killing. Police detain 7-year-old boy for alleged murder. Ex-Kano Justice Commissioner leads Saraki Ekweremadu's trial today. Punch is loaded.
Many stories.
Punch is loaded.
How do we choose
Should
which
I start
one
the
now?
human angle story?
Oh yeah, quickly.
The woman that was lynched.
Yes, the
They said for the past 16 years, she goes with the megaphone and she preaches on the streets, like those people that just go
Oh,
and they
that
preach.
story you want to take. We're
Yeah.
going to take it in another paper.
Oh,
actually.
really?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, 5:30 a.m. So this normal day, she was there and they heard her voice. All of a sudden, they started hearing her shout, "Blood of Jesus!" And before they knew anything, the people came out and they saw her in the pool of her blood. And
They
as of-
capacitated though.
Yes.
Legs removed.
everything.
no, they told her, the police
No,
said it was the
I
body
thought
was
they just-
intact.
they just-
That
they
was the
just
report.
Slit her throat. I
But
think
yes,
that
but
was
the
what I
police said
read
her body
online.
was intact. The
Yes,
police did report
what I
that.
read online was that they slit her throat, so she was in the pool of her blood. And right now they have arrested about 6 people. I think the imam or so of that area had also been arrested. You know,
The vice president's wife also went
but
there.
the vice
to-
president's wife went to. She's a pastor of
Redeemed.
Redeemed
We wanted
Church.
to take it in the Nation because there's a picture of her husband,
yeah.
in the Nation.
I also wanted to just add that, you know, the truth is that even while I'm sleeping, 5 a.m. every morning, I mean, that's what, as my alarm is ringing, there's a call for prayers that the Islam,
mosque.
I mean, nobody would go out. I think we should learn to be tolerant. I love the
agree.
concept of you wearing a white shoe and a black shoe. Tolerance is key. I mean, respect my religion, and as I'll respect your religion. Don't force somebody, you know. And I think these people must have been incited, and it's a leadership problem. It's a leadership problem.
We'll get to that because there was another story I wanted us to pick. Did you
Did
read?
you want to take the Buratai story?
No, but go
Which
ahead.
one?
I was going to take out the little boy that was charged for murder. He's the son of a house help. They gave the woman accommodation in her Oga's house. Now the Oga went out. One of the Oga's sons said, "Please go and clean up my dad's room or something." In the room, he saw a gun. He now came to show one of the sons of the Oga, "I saw this gun." He said, "Oh, take it back." As he was returning it back upstairs, he mistakenly pulled the trigger. And the trigger was loaded, went straight into the neighbor's house and killed somebody. So the entire family was detained. So now the police is out saying, I mean, the lawyer, human rights lawyer, saying it's not the boy's fault. I mean, the father for keeping the gun in the house, yes,
That's number
and
one.
even
Why would you even keep a gun that is loaded?
loaded in the
And
house.
is it licensed to carry a
That's
gun?
a different matter.
that's
That's a different matter.
Ha.
But-
That part of
so that's
license
what
is a
happened.
different issue.
No,
But should we
it is-
move on to
It is the issue.
I'm just, but my worry is somebody inside his own house now.
Jejely?
Tragedy from someone else in another person's
Father,
house
may
due to
no- may no
laxity.
stray bullet
That's
hit
the,
my ha-
Akoba
in my
Adaba.
house.
that's the prayer.
Akoba
You know?
Adaba Olomajari.
Oh my God.
The Nation, moving on. Detectives probe 60 billion naira vote for senators and reps. Picture here of the husband of the slain woman in Abuja. 6 suspects held for Abuja's preacher's murder. 6 suspected Boko Haram men held in Lagos. Who read this detectives probe 60 billion? Who read that story?
No.
They went into Omishore's house.
Oh, I read it.
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
So I found documents of how the 6th Assembly
Yes.
was supposed to share 60 billion. It's called extra. Tell me the term for that money. Extraneous, meaning miscellaneous.
Extraneous overhead expenses.
Miscellaneous expenses,
yes.
meaning that no, it's not allocated to anything. 60 billion.
It was padded actually. Budget pad was padded. And they saw it and he was telling them, like, please come here for the 1.something billion naira investigation.
you are coming
Leave the
for.
60. That one doesn't concern you.
Yeah.
Michelle was telling them,
No, but the
please
truth
focus on
about
what you
it
came
is
here
that
for.
we've always known that things have always happened in previous
Yes,
governments.
yes.
That was the 6th Assembly where he was a member
Yeah.
of the
No,
House.
I want to take the story
Boko
about
Haram.
the Boko Haram people found in Lagos. And basically because they were found by the vigilante joint force.
Joint task force.
Just Task Force in Lagos, and they were found some on the island, some on the mainland. These are 6 Boko Haram suspects that were in the first 100. 100 people were released that these are top suspects we're looking for that are
Wanted.
Boko Haram wanted people, and 6 of them were found in Lagos. Shocking, and I think that I'm happy that it was found by vigilante forces, which is that I'm happy that they've distributed themselves such a way that any state that you have Boko Haram suspects, there's a vigilante ground force that can recognize them
And
and
one
pick
was
them
found
up.
in the church, in a church.
Hiding
one of the men.
in one of the containers in the
container
church. But I always complain about my own neighborhood, my street Gongo. And when I talk to them, they say they're from Borno.
No, but guess what?
They always come in from Borno.
Guess what? This Borno, I think part of the reason they were able to recognize the people, is it that the joint task force, I think, is headed. They
By
have
an imam.
Yeah, and there's a Borno community that
Now,
put a watch on them.
They said that they traced them.
Yes.
You know, they are running into Niger and neighboring countries. So from Borno, they trace them to any path that they're going to. This joint task force is in 27 local governments in Lagos State. So from wherever you are,
They
so,
can find you.
the story buttresses the need for community
State
policing.
Yeah, yes. So. Which our vice president said that we don't need it was in Punch.
You see, that's his
Osinbajo
own
fought
story.
calls for Nigeria's restructuring.
Look, Mariah, a lot of people are disappointed that he has
Yes,
said
sir.
that, because before he got into
Campaign.
government, he had also mentioned restructuring. And they're saying that it seems like our politicians are selfish.
Once
When
they
you
get
are
into Aso Rock,
when you are outside,
Things change.
when you're on the state level, you say, the center is too powerful, we want decentralization. Once you get to the mainstream and you're in the middle and in power, then you now say, no, restructuring is not
He
needed.
said that it's diversification we need, where everybody needs to diverse our economy, not restructuring.
It will
Yes.
take a very, very determined, self-aware man to hold on to power and willingly leave it for the greatness of the nation. And we need such leadership. And that was what we voted for.
And that's
so
what-
we're still waiting to see if...
That's what some people are campaigning for 2019. Let me not mention
No,
that
but that was what they campaigned for 2015.
this new
2015 to get
this
into
new
power.
person now is spinning on this matter for 2019. He's really into
Well,
the
guess what? Because we have been failed so many times, we're
I
not
will
going to
listen.
trust him also. Because all the people
Because
who
once
are
they
in
get
power
there-
now, we're also campaigning for
Campaigning.
restructuring
Let's
to get
move on.
into power.
Vanguard, looters hide billions in farm, says Dogara. Nigeria's unity negotiable, says ex-governor Atta. And bulletproof, notorious cult leader boasts. Abuja preachers murder, they killed my mother like a chicken. That's the child. 6 suspected Boko Haram members arrested in Lagos. Otedola Adenuga's firms, 3 others lose 265.4 billion in 6 months. And CPC probes Nigerian breweries.
my dear, you people cannot miss this picture of our winning team.
Who is your winning team?
Portugal. Did
I
you
watched
watch
the
it?
match.
Who are they?
You see yourself?
Euro 2016.
What is it?
See, I watched that match yesterday.
Please, let me tell you the
what happened.
highlights
No, let me tell you what happened.
of
You know that
the
because
match
I
for
have
me.
French-in-law, I was forming,
French
what's it called?
France.
I was
Support
forming
for France.
Affiliation.
affiliation. That this is my relation. But when I saw it, I said, how these French people were just missing goals anyhow. I said, you know what?
What did you
I've
see?
seen that.
But they played.
Sorry,
they were the
they
best.
had the
hang in there.
possession more.
Sorry, there's Champions League, there's Premier League.
This one is
This
not
European-
No, you know European.
European, what's it they call
Okay,
them?
you see how
We
we
don't know,
have...
they're just as bad as I am.
no,
Let
I'm
me
not
tell
as
you
bad
what
as
it is.
you.
It's European League, she's right. You know the way we have CAF Championship League in Africa, that is African
These are European.
nations.
Okay.
So these are European
European
nations.
nations.
So the final was Portugal and France. And the highlight of the match for me was early in the match, Ronaldo, who was the captain of
injured.
Portugal, got injured, and he wept. You know, thinking that this was the end of the match, that if they didn't have him inside that team, they were going to lose. And there was somebody saying to him, don't worry, we'll win this match for you. We'll win this match.
beg,
for
I
you."
beg,
Let's not
Next,
finish.
next.
Wait.
Daily
Let me tell
Sun.
you what happened.
Okay.
Team spirit. That was what led to their victory. Ronaldo left that pitch and he was going about hugging every player. In short, they called him assistant manager yesterday. I think we should imbibe that kind of team spirit. If
Daily
we want
Sun.
to move forward in
Daily
Nigeria.
Sun. I didn't even know there was a match playing. Right. Speaker Dogara's bombshell. Billions of naira buried in farms. Senate could withdraw AGF's confirmation. Local JTF arrests wanted Boko Haram suspect in Lagos church. Abia. Governors Forum expresses worry. Jam clears air on new admission system. Kalu appeals to Buhari on Bureau de Change operations. Envoy nominees. Again, Senate summons Foreign Affairs Minister. And why I fight Buhari, says Fayoshe.
Did you read the fire story?
I started reading it. It was pretty interesting. Saying that he's a man of, he doesn't tell lies, he says as it is.
No.
And,
Oh, really?
Yes, now he has admitted that he has mansions worth billions.
And how did he admit how he got the
He
money?
didn't tell us how he got the money.
So you cannot
So,
just say that.
please. However, I want to talk about the JAM story. And here's how I want to take it, because I know we don't have much time. Whatever, the future of our country lies in education. A good education will churn out the future of our country. So if JAM, as a body, is putting preference of region over merit, I'm worried about the future of this country. Please, JAMB, we're looking up to you to determine that the best heads get into the best universities and we turn out the best. Merit only.
Okay, all right. Let's just take a quick break. When we return, we discuss the killing of blacks in the U.S. is on Hot Topic, and later, the safety of Nigerians living in the diaspora. That's our topic on Let's Talk. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, in recent times, the killing of African Americans in the United States has been on the increase. Last week, 2 black men in different countries, with different states in America, were killed by a policeman for no offense committed. Reports have it that 37% of unarmed people killed by police were African Americans in 2015. Despite African Americans people being only 13% of the U.S. population, we ask, why are the blacks being killed as if their lives don't matter? It's your view. You can call us on 070-80668014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Now, some people might ask, why are we talking about this? It's pretty hot over the weekend. It was pretty hot over the weekend. And many of us have families abroad, number one. Number two, this is a country that we look up to as regards democracy. We've seen their police system working. We assume that, okay, we want us to have this decentralized police force. So if these things are happening, we need to take a cue for, okay, how do they get to where they are, and how can we prevent ourselves from getting there? So these are things, we're also using them as a case study, that, okay, what got the U.S. to where it is? But what are your thoughts on the killings that happened over the weekend?
To buttress what you said, there are lots of Nigerians who live in the U.S. So if their police over there are attacking blacks, it means that Nigerians are also at risk. And I watched 2 of the videos. It was heartbreaking. I mean, over the weekend on Friday, I was just disheartened. The first guy, after he was killed in cold blood, his name is Alton Sterling. They went to go and look for his criminal records, sort of like buttressing that anyway, he was a child molester. The second guy, Philandro Castile, had no criminal records at all. White people were coming out and saying that, oh, Philandro took care of my children because he was a restaurant attendant in a school, you know. And the manners in which they were killed, you questioned me for my license. Aston was already on the floor. He had policemen on him.
Yeah.
They found ammunition on him, which he had the license to carry.
Yeah.
And just because he had that ammunition, he was shot in cold blood. And they didn't call for help. Aston was asked for his own, Philandro was asked for his license. He was driving with his girlfriend and his child in the car. He reached out. And as is usual in the US, he informed the Chinese police officer that I have a firearm in my hip. I'm licensed to carry. My back pocket is where my license is. And as he was reaching, the guy said he should stop. As he was trying to come out with his hands, he was shot 4 times in the arm. No help, you know, no ambulance, nothing. He died while his girlfriend was recording that encounter. We also remembered killing of black kids. Damilola Taylor comes to mind. He was a 10-year-old in the UK, knife. And then just last week, Sunday, Fola Orebi was also murdered. And we say that this isn't right, but we expect that the Nigerian government will assist Nigerians in the diaspora. That's why we're talking about this, because they will say, it's not your business, it's America and America works. Why are Nigerians bewailing what is happening over there when the Nigerian police are killing people on a regular basis?
Here. Okay, let me hear your thoughts on this to talk about.
I actually watched them. I usually follow Farid on GPS on CNN, and this was the topic also. Sadly, it is with the sense of, this is actually a true fact among all of us. They see it every day. Statistically, Obama said that it is worse off being a black in America. You're in more danger being a black in America than being white. White people 2 times get caught than whites, and that if you have a black person commit the same crime as a white person, the white person will get a more lenient sentence than a black almost all the time, and they have statistics to prove this. So I look at the country we look up to suffering, and I know that, okay, the grass isn't greener on the other side. However, in the spate of this, I also saw the police chief for Dallas coming to say that don't use the crime of a few police officers to make it look like all police officers here are bad people. They are not. A lot of them go out every day knowing they might get shot and die, and they do this with all sincerity of protecting the lives of people in the country. So I want to stay here and defend the police. That I know that some of them are bad in the US, that some of the police officers there are bad. However, majority of them are doing the right thing.
Okay, one of the videos, talking about the police, one of the videos we had watched had said that one of the ladies lamenting was saying that, listen, if you don't want to work in the black communities, you have a right to ask for a reassignment.
That is the angle I want to come in from, you know, because we watched the video of a police officer saying that every police officer has the right to say, okay, you know what, I don't think I can handle this, because and I felt her pain. She said she has been in positions where she's able to disarm 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds that are having guns and all that without having to harm those people. You know, as a police officer, if you watch that video of the first guy, is it Aston? The police officer panicked. Do you understand? But you panicked, you didn't shoot once, you shot the guy almost 6 times. You know, so my point is, when Nigerians are talking, these things happen everywhere. And that's why I don't want us to come with the fact that, okay, because he's white or he's black. Those police people are just playing evil. And they are people that, you know, I mean, they are murderers. That's what I'll call them. Do you understand? No, hold on. A white boy, the only problem I have is that a white boy went into a church, I think, and killed how many people?
He was told that he had psychological problem.
They took him and they are questioning.
They took him
and
to
these
Boga.
are the things, you know, these are the things that when it's the other way around, it will not happen with a black person. And that was why the other woman that YK sent a video to us that was lamenting and was saying that black mothers, the worry that they have is totally different from what a white mother will have. So we should start training our children. And I think I stand with her. I believe that the onus is on us, parents. Whatever it is that we are doing, make sure you are raising sons that, you know, I mean, because you see, sometimes you sag your trouser, you are walking up and down. No, I'm just saying, because they have stigmatized a black person to mean that you're jobless, you're this, you're that. So I think we should also try to start changing the face of that stigma. That
Let me take this call from Bankole. Bankole, are you there?
Philandro was a great man.
I'm sorry for cable.
Murayo, there's a case of the fact that Wendy was saying she has to now tell a child that is a confident boy of 15 going to school that, listen, when a policeman stops you, don't prove your confidence. Keep your confidence. Just raise up your hand and say, I don't have any guns, I don't have anything. Why do we now raising children that will be scared of the force?
Yeah.
That's not a case of raising children. A confident child will walk up to people and say that, sorry, I don't have any arms with me, and he will try and bring out the pocket. But if you put your hand there, you might die.
Yeah.
So what kind of child are we raising? This is a societal problem that is born out of race. The fact that a white person feels I'm superior to a black person. You came to serve me. Why are you not working in the office with me as a colleague? Why are you on the street? These are issues based on race.
I have a call from California. Tokumbo, are you there? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you doing, Tokumbo?
I'm cool, and you?
Good. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Go ahead, Tokumbo. We can hear you clearly. Go ahead.
Well, I think the problem is with the Congress. They need to pass a law that will ban assaulted weapons in the streets. Because when you look at the ratio of police that have been killed in the last couple of years, mainly most black guys move around with guns. They belong to gangs. And sometimes they shoot police. So most of the times, policemen on the streets, they kind of like get freaked out. I think the Congress needs to pass reform laws that will ban assaulted weapons in the streets.
Okay. Point taken, Tokumbo. Thanks
That's
for
one of 2 solutions. We agree. And just before the last shooting happened, that a guy went into a school killing many people, Obama had mentioned that, you know, we need to deal with this, that if a terrorist comes into America, the way the law is, you can't stop them from buying a firearm, you know, that we need to change our gun laws. But also, the second thing is racism. Somebody over the weekend put up a picture of Biggie, the dead musician, who he had the t-shirt on that was saying that in future the American police will have the KKK, you know, white people who hate black people in the police force. Because I saw many videos of racial profiling. Once it is a black man, whoever the police person is already defensive.
And it's been trained that way.
From afar, you're already telling that black man to raise up his hands. If there was a picture, a video of a white man carrying a long gun, walking on the streets, and the policeman walked to him to have a conversation. Somebody else, a white man, also said that he had a long AK-47 in his back seat. A policeman stopped him for traffic offense and was gisting. Are you coming from the ranch, shooting, how was it, blah, blah. But if he was a black man, he would have been shot immediately.
Yeah. Let me take this call from Amadi. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Morning. Go ahead, please.
What is happening in the U.S.? Because it's all over the world. Even in this country, we have the racist problem of between the Fulanis, the Muslim Fulanis, and the Dutcham Hausas. We have this against Hausas.
I can't hear.
Having trouble hearing. Let's take some tweets, Jumoke and Uwa.
Agbakin says, hope you remember how Aishat Falode's son was killed in Dubai also. It's getting so bad day by day.
Okay. So the other angle, because now we need to look into the fact that Nigerians living abroad, what solace can they find in our consulates? So what can they do, you know, what can they do to protect Nigerians, especially those who feel like, okay, I'm being negatively profiled because of my African, because you see, even in the US, there was that issue of Africans and African Americans.
Yes.
They believe that also Africans are coming to take their own jobs. So there's always, everybody is being profiled somehow. But let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have a guest in the studio to help us understand the safety of Nigerians in the diaspora. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. As we're saying, the lives of Nigerians in the diaspora is becoming somewhat unsafe due to racial discrimination. The killings of 2 Nigerians in Italy and the United Kingdom, respectively, has triggered the feelings of most Nigerians living abroad to ask, how safe are they in the diaspora? Now, joining us on the show is a public analyst, Mr. Oluwaseyi Adeyan. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you've been hearing, you can call us on 070-806-68014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So you've been hearing our conversation. What are your thoughts, first of all, on the killings that happened, one, and then how can the Nigerian consulate somewhat protect Nigerians living abroad better?
Like you've said, it's unfortunate that this has continued over the years. It's an historical thing that we've had to deal with as a people. And I like the fact that one of you said that it's not just happening in the United States, it's happening in Nigeria as well. And that's something that I believe will help our discourse. Let us understand that this is a very critical part of the human race.
Okay.
We're very, very critical about ourselves.
Right.
Unfortunately, we have to live together. So it's important that we understand that so that we can enjoy living with each other. That we're not going to dislike ourselves. That we're not going to say, Igbo, Hausa, white, black. That is our history. That is who we are. So we need to understand that, and that will help in I feel a lot for President Obama this time because he's a black man. And questions that are being thrown at him are very, very sensitive questions. I mean, he's between saying he's a black man and he's a white man. But he's the president of the United States. So he's both the president of the white American.
Now, there are insinuations that this killings, although we know it's been there forever, but it's probably been spurred on because of Trump's popularity. Saying that, okay, the white supremacists feel that, listen, we might be having a president who's going to be fighting our cause. Do you agree with that? Saying, because now he's making a lot of blacks feeling, okay, if this guy becomes president, we're going to get more of this attacks. Because even during his campaigns, you can see violence. You can see he's inciting a lot of violence against black people. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, without a doubt, I mean, the kind of statements and things he said are not very healthy. I mean, everyone knows that. And I'd said at some point that it's unfortunate that for me, that is even a way to determine the art of the average white American, you know, because the truth is, over the years, yes, we need to deal with this because we're doing business with ourselves. We share a lot of stuff. But the truth is, the average white will still see you as inferior. Yeah. That is the truth. I mean,
joining us on the phone is the Senior Special Assistant on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Mrs. Abike Dabiru-Erewa. Welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, you've heard about what's been happening over the weekend, last week in the United States. Of course, everybody's talking about the safety of Nigerians abroad. What do you have to say on that, ma'am?
Well, it was unfortunate what happened a few days ago, one in London, one in Italy, but immediately Mr. President, through my office, reacted, and we not only condemned the two incidents in entirety, but Mr. President has said that under his watch, the welfare of Nigerians anywhere in the world will be his priority. So apart from saying it is not acceptable to us, Mr. President has said we must ensure that we follow these cases to the letter. And I know that 4 people have been arrested in connection with the incident in London. 1 person has been arrested in connection with the incident in Italy. And beyond that, Mr. President has said we should extend his condolences directly to the families. We have been able to establish contact with Bola Tinubu about that. But we're trying to establish contact with Emmanuel Chidi's family. We've not been able to yet because it wasn't documented yet, being that it was still in the process of seeking asylum. Okay. So, under Mr. President's watch, these issues will not be accepted, will not be tolerated, and this administration will ensure that the welfare of Nigerians is paramount and that justice is done where any Nigerian is maltreated.
All right. Yes.
Okay, so Eloma, usually when people go to the consulate or to the embassy of Nigeria in foreign countries,
I can't hear you.
When people go to foreign countries and they try to approach the Nigerian consulate or the embassy, there's a case of you can't even get into the embassy. So if you are...
I can't hear you.
Okay, we're saying that we have a lot of Nigerians abroad who have trouble approaching or accessing the Nigerian consulates abroad. What was being done to ensure it's easier access for Nigerians to get help, information from consulates abroad?
Sorry, just take that question again. The line is fake.
Sorry, we found out that a lot of Nigerians abroad have serious difficulties in accessing the Nigerian consulates or embassies abroad.
Yes, you are correct to an extent, but however, we cannot generalize.
Okay.
In some cases, it is bad, very, very bad. But in some cases, it is not so bad. But in some cases, it is actually good. So I want to avoid generalization. But what I keep telling Nigerians is that, number one, all this are being worked out. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is even has made a pronouncement on that. The embassies are there to protect Nigerians in the diaspora. Yeah. I know that even for us here, far back here in Nigeria, once we communicate with them, you know, there are some cases that you really know that they don't have a point. But that is not the point. You are there for them. Listen to them. Even if you cannot, you know, provide monetary support in some cases, it's important to listen to them. So those cases, those complaints are being taken as we receive them. In the last 3 weeks, we've received almost about 11 complaints. And I'm telling you categorically that we work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to solve them when they do get to us. So there's an email to reach us on, which is easily accessible. When we get these complaints individually, collectively, we work at them. And don't forget that we also have various diaspora organizations. Through them, you can reach the embassy consulate. So yes, there are challenges in some cases. Some we cannot complain about them. But where there are complaints, when it gets to us, Mr. President has that we deal with them.
Finally, man, there's been talks on people saying that maybe we should get an official statement or guidelines from your office helping Nigerians who are traveling abroad. Okay, this is how you behave when you get there. You do this, you do that. Do you agree with that, or are you working on something towards that?
Absolutely. In fact, but the problem with that is that guidelines vary from country to country. So what we're doing is working with, in particular, with those embassies, those countries where you know that they're hostile anyway. You know, when you go there to even get their visa, you get to know that. For instance, in Indonesia, the moment you land at the airport, it tells you straight to your face that drug penalty is death. So if you are going to Indonesia, you know you're going to die to carry drugs. So we start that from here. Even at the airport, even with NDLE, we're working with them to ensure that as soon as you're going, whether at the airport, whether at the embassy, they say to your face, if you go here, you're going to die if you do this. And then some hostile countries, say going to Libya, for instance, Morocco, wanting to cross to Europe, it is tough. It was tough then, it's tougher now because of the migrant crisis everywhere in the world. Even seeking asylum now is a bit tougher for blacks anywhere in the world. So we continue on awareness programs, work with youth and media to educate our citizens that there are some places you should not even go to. And President Buhari is working at making Nigeria a safe place, a cross-free country where every Nigerian will value life and will have access to affordable quality.
Thank you very much. All right then. Thank you.
Okay,
yes,
so
back to our guest. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to address this question to her. There are skinheads racial groups in some parts of Finland, UK, Malaysia, Germany, Singapore, Ukraine, Australia, and Russia. These people believe that their girls are more attracted to foreigners, Africans, Indians, because they're intelligent, they're educated, they take care of girls more. So they will just come and kill students or blacks or Indians in some parts of these countries that I mentioned. I was going to address her to say that the immediate help, what are they doing to help people in those communities? Because I'm a student here, what am I going to do? Am I going to abandon my studies?
Okay.
But
based on what all she has said, do you agree with some of the things she said, or what are your thoughts on?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I want to come from the angle you just mentioned, because that's critical. Like I said before, knowledge and adapting to the expectation of your host. Okay. You see, most often we have this fuel because I'm expecting that though you're my host, you're supposed to tilt towards me. No. I'm supposed to tilt towards you. Okay. And that's why I agreed, with what you said earlier when you talked about the fact that there's a need for us to train ourselves and tell ourselves that when we go out, for instance, I like to dress like this all over the place whenever I travel. But it dawned on me that in some cases, I'm actually putting myself on the spot because they already know that I'm Nigerian, I'm African. And so not liking it, when I travel to some places, I need to dress,
like them.
Like them, because I need to protect myself. Okay. And so those are critical things we need to know and do all the time.
But in countries like US where they celebrate diversity, you think that, okay, people will respect you for who you are.
Oh, Mariah,
sorry, sir, I wanted to even bring...
the statement was made, because we were asking if they've made a statement in Nigeria. Even the Caribbeans made a statement that Bahamas made a statement that every Bahamas citizen going into the US should note that because you're black, you might be prejudged and you should be careful. That is a country watching out for their citizens going into America. I feel that Nigeria should have made a statement like that, knowing that we have...
Which she said they're working on.
Because we're focusing on America. Recently, you also heard about the xenophobic attack in South Africa.
Yeah.
And that was something that had to do with blacks killing fellow blacks because you are coming, it was presumed that you're coming to come and take their job.
Yeah.
So now, what do you think is playing out? Because the video we watched, the woman was talking about them giving us the mindset that we are, victims, and now victimizing us for becoming victims. So how do you think we can begin to change the mindset of the black Americans, even the black Africans living in the US?
A lot of people have never been here before. They're in their Lumbu somewhere, wherever they are, and they tell stories of us in the way they perceive us. One of the things I think the diasporans we need to do for us is there are first ambassadors that leave, and they need to let people know that we're this good. You know, because unfortunately, most of them, whenever they do things, they tell a wrong story of who we are. Now, Americans and a host of them spend a lot of money sending their people to Nigeria to come and learn our languages and all of that, and we take it for granted. How much do we spend in doing that to know about them? You know, because they're in Ibadan, they're everywhere, they're learning, and we laugh, and hey, I know Imbuman can sing and all that. No, what they're trying to do is to gather information so that whenever they're dealing with you, they have sufficient information to deal with you. So that is critical. We need to understand that we're living in a world that we need to know ourselves more.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick break because she said something earlier which I thought was critical, that things have changed, dynamics have changed. So we need to understand that what that change is so we can better understand how to hold the future accountable. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We have Adeleke calling from Alimosho. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, please. My complaint is that, as we all know, charity begins at home. We all know that. It's not as if we shouldn't be concerned about what is happening abroad to Nigerians. But let's come back home. Let's start from home. Look at what happened to a money crier in Abuja recently, on Friday. The woman came out to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, and she was killed. And the irony of the whole scenario is that whenever there is a tragedy in the northern part of Nigeria, the first lady always rushes down. And this thing happens in Abuja. She never mentioned and she never went there to pay those people a visit. It was the vice president's wife that went there yesterday.
True.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And every time I keep hearing that the first lady travels to the northern part to distribute food and all that, to the less privileged and all that. What about the people in the Niger Delta? I'm Yoruba, but what about the people in the Niger Delta? Can't she go there and distribute things to them? Are they not human like those people in the northern part? I look at what has happened in Abuja recently. Although I'm a first-time caller, right?
Thanks, Adeleke, because thanks very much, because the point he's making was also made in the papers in some places where the body language of our government is not in
tilting towards a particular.
Is not in alliance with what we're preaching.
May I take a few tweets that I agree with Adeleke? Raymond King says, I don't believe that woman who just called now, Buhari couldn't protect the Benue State indigents and Nigerians. CEO says, racism is a disease. This didn't just start yesterday. It started way back, and this is the right time to address it. Tariq's Rule says, most people left Nigeria to go abroad without knowing anyone there. So I think it shouldn't be a problem the other way around. Akitude says, I'm not eager to want to travel to the US because I believe my security can't be guaranteed because of my color. Last one, Omolaja Olatunji says, there is a limit to what gag the reactions of foreign countries to our nationals. We need to improve living conditions at home.
I wanted to harp on what you said earlier about things are changing, because even here in Nigeria, we realize that tribalism, although we feel like it's been there, but it's coming to the fore. People are now being judged based on your religion, where you're from, that kind of stuff. So that change, you're saying globally, what exactly is causing it, and how can we deal with it?
It's actually information. The reason why we know it more now is because it's out there more. People are tweeting it.
Social
all
media.
That. Now, so we need to take advantage of information and get to know more about ourselves. That is a serious issue we need to deal with. We need to let all of us know more about ourselves, because that is very critical. If we do not settle that, we're not going to be able to live with ourselves. And I'll insist, we must live with ourselves. There'll be black, there'll be white.
Let me bring this up, because we mentioned it earlier, and we've also mentioned it on this platform before, that people one-on-one might not see color, but the politics of the country and the politics of the society brings and aggravates the colors and aggravate the differences. We mentioned that in the US right now, we have someone campaigning, obviously, that these people are coming to take our jobs, we're going to take them back. That's Donald Trump. Yeah. And then we have in Nigeria where every time politicians talk, they say, vote for me because I'm from this area of the state. So is it not that the politicians and politics is what is bringing this up? As opposed to us thinking that it's just modernization and the fact that we have information.
I think we also need to be ahead of them. True. A politician is an individual, somebody who is doing his business. He wants to be president, so he can use anything he likes. So we should know that he cannot use us against ourselves. Because at the end of the day, that's very critical. I mean, yes, I need to become governor, I need to become this. And I say, I'll remind you that I'm a Yoruba man, I'm an Hausa man and all of that. But you need to know that, look, Ogbeni, if you need to tell us a story, tell us a story. Don't come and start telling us that you're black, that you're white. That's, for me, it's a narrative that we need to walk away from.
Let me take this call from Hassan. Good morning, are you there?
Good morning, Morayo.
Morning, go ahead, please.
Good morning, Mr. Adeyemo, Jumoke, Tope, and Uwa.
Good morning.
Let us be very, very sincere with ourselves.
Yes.
This is high time. This is no time for denials. This is no time for evasion, neither alibis. Are we really representing ourselves very well? We should ponder over that. Most of the Nigerians that goes abroad misbehaves. And we, the leadership, we have problem with the leadership. There's a problem of posture of leadership. The first of all, the first thing that sold a country outside is the leadership. Previously, we have bad leadership. Would cut across everything, all our facets of life. And people that were privileged to go abroad don't behave themselves. You see, you look at your host communities. You don't look at yourself. It is high time we begin to look at ourselves. Martin Luther King took serious campaign to change the mindset of the white by telling them, stop looking at our colors. Look at the content of our characters. You understand? We are not representing ourselves very well. We should be very careful. It is high time we look at ourselves straight in the eyes and say the whole truth.
Thanks, Hassan.
I just even wanted to bring up the story of the three, our leaders. I
just remembered.
Our leaders that came, that traveled to the United States. Instead of them to go and focus on the leadership training they went for, they were focusing on
They were chasing prostitutes.
So you see, we cannot isolate that fact. Because you, as a black person, you already have, there's a stigma on you that you are no good, you are this. That is why the onus is on you as an individual to tell the world that there is more to me than the color of my skin.
Philandro Castile did not have the opportunity to tell the world anything. He was a good man without a criminal record. He was killed in cold blood in front of his girlfriend and his child. So when we cast racial aspersions on people, you are going to kill innocent people.
Remember Diallo was shot 41 times. He was trying to bring out his wallet.
Can you imagine? It's the same thing that happened to Philandro. He was trying to bring out his wallet, but he informed the officer, I am carrying a firearm that I am licensed to carry.
That's why it's on us to ensure that we don't wait for that situation. You said the truth is, whatever I do now is not totally what I see now. Is based on the things I'd known.
Thank you.
You know, so we need to change that narrative. You go into a place and people look at you and they treat you in a particular manner because of the mindset
they already have before.
You know, so you need to deal with that. It's a lot of work that we need to do.
May I take some tweets before we run off? Tariq's Rule says, killing the blacks, killing the preachers, killing the cops, for God's sakes. When will we ever stop killing one another? Oshinaike says, why is it that when Nigerians go abroad, they are called refugees, and when foreigners come here, they're called expatriates? Follower Shere says, Nigerians in diaspora owe it a moral duty to wish the best for Nigerians, both development and peaceful coexistence.
We don't have a lot of time because I wanted to talk on this issue of the lady that was killed in Abuja, because you said, let's get information about ourselves. So if she says, okay, I'm in Abuja, I'm not in Lagos. I'm not in a community where it's a Christian community. This is a Muslim community. Now I understand that maybe I shouldn't be preaching here. You know, is that what you're saying, that we should understand? When we understand our host community, then we know how to behave. Is that what you're saying in essence?
No. I mean, you see, that's an isolated case.
Okay.
What we're saying is generally we need to be informed about these things. There will be cases where in at 12, there will be some crazy person
Yeah.
that will do some crazy things. Now, that's not what we're referring to. But we will solve and reduce the issue and problem if we deal with information. We need to, that's very critical. Even in dealing with you, I need to be able to know you first. So if I take you for granted, I'm likely to have a problem with you.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you very much, sir. We have to round up the show.
Very
It was a great one.
informed.
Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.